Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pine Stars. This
Oof.
is Pine Stars, episode 12, where we recap UIndy baseball, catch up with some old Greyhounds, and just shoot the shit for about 20 or 30 minutes. My name is Brad Bates, and here with me, as always, is Brian Tyrannosaurus Rimke and Kurt the Kurt Brabender. We're coming off of the Super Regional where UND played Davenport. No, not Davenport. They played Northwood, the Northwood Timberwolves, here at the University of Indianapolis. It was a best of three series coming out. Both teams came into the Super Regional ranked lower in the region. So UIndy was ranked fourth in the region, and Northwood was at that time ranked sixth in the region. So both winning their ways out of their regional brackets to play in the Super Regional. Rimke, do you want to talk to us a little bit about how the last weekend went?
Yeah, so as you just laid out, three-game set with Northwood. Game one came out a little bit slower than we would have hoped. Dropped that one 10-3, but bounced back well on Friday. 11-8 win Friday, which, that was a good return to what we kind of got accustomed to there in the region. The Abominable Snowman with a nice outing. Frankie Clem in the kitchen sink picking up a save.
Yeah.
That one. And really just the bats came alive with Goody, with Bodie and Boss all picking up extra base hits in that one. So good win. Gave a little excitement there to end it, but closed that one out 11-3 or 11-8. And then Saturday, just one of those days where, you feel like you could fall out of a boat and not hit water. Um, just kind of a tough one for them, but 17-4, they came up short. But, again, the excitement, just getting into the playoffs, running through the region as strong as they did, and then coming out making another super regional. Um, Heck of a year for this group.
Yeah, Kurt, you were out at the games, I think, on what, Thursday and Saturday. Is that right?
So, yeah, Thursday, Saturday, I was out there both games. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have gone to either of those games, seeing as they lost.
Yeah, you were
Um,
you were the kiss of death.
KOD.
I was unfortunately some bad mojo from the Kurt here. So next year, I just may not show up to a game. I think the games I went to, they never did well. So I'm just going to stay here.
You know what
Sorry, guys.
happened, Kurt?
That's on
The mo
me.
no, the mojo was off because they didn't give you your spot on the bench. If you'd have sat on the bench, I think all would have been right.
There were a lot of 3-2-1 counts I saw. Could have helped out in those situations. Some of the 2-2 and 2 counts with the slap left, slap right, or drop. Could have helped out with that.
Hmm.
Um, I could have played a role. Like I said, ready. I have a year left.
I will tell you, though, I will tell you that after the loss on Thursday, so, okay, remember in the dugouts, we had the bench that's back up against the back wall, right? Well, that bench is still there, but they've added like a pro dugout bench about like where the front of the dugout would drop off. So it's a high seat bench that goes all the way across, right? So that's where a lot of the guys sit and all that stuff. Reddy had it removed. Reddy had the bench removed from the dugout to get everybody up on the rail for Friday and Saturday's game, which I'm not again, I don't want to just make up stories about how influential our podcast is here, and how much we're shedding light on the importance of the guys not actually touching the ball, right? But it's it's a little suspicious, isn't it? Isn't it? He takes it out, and they come
Man,
out and win on Friday. Yeah, Saturday, man, they were snake bit. Like they just everything that could go wrong went wrong, and you're gonna have those days. It's baseball,
yeah.
right? Those things are gonna happen. So it was definitely it was a tough way to go out. Definitely not what they wanted, but you could the only good thing about it was is you kind of knew about the seventh inning what the outcome was going to be, so you had time to prepare for the end. It's not like they lost right at the end, which would have been an absolute heartbreaker. But
Mhm.
these guys fought, man. The bullpen, everybody was tired. Arms, guys coming in trying to do the best that they could. Um, but I felt like they gave it a wonderful effort this weekend.
Well, we can't blame it on not having the best color commentator in the league besides Monty, because when one of our own gets called up and you leave the bench, it gets you a little teary-eyed.
I'll
But
be honest.
talk about a little time behind the mic there.
That I was it was an absolute blast. I had so much fun. Um, I got to call the games on the GLVC network alongside Mac Whelan, I believe is his last name, who's a GA there within the communications department at UND. And so he did the play-by-play, and I got to call the color on both Friday and Saturday games, and it was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun. Um, but it really gave me a good opportunity to get a look and see about a lot of these guys and um, really get a look in the dugout and see what's going on in there. I liked what I saw. And I will say, I'll give a shout out. We were trying to get him on the show and we didn't yet, but not saying we won't. I'm pretty sure our boy Brandon Stidham got him a dugout warning on Saturday. I was so happy. I was so happy.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah, we definitely got to get him on because anybody that chirps at that level of success, man, we got a spot in our heart for a guy like that.
He's
he's going places. I'm telling you, he is
Hmm.
going places.
he's one
Yeah,
of us,
I
that's
can
for
see him
sure.
getting kicked out of his kids. He's definitely getting kicked out of his kids' little league game in about 8 to 10 years, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, come join us in the parking lot, Stidham. We'll be out there already. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about the program as a whole. So, this is the third year in a row. Okay, so 2 years in a row they go back-to-back World Series. This year they come within a game of going to the World Series for a third time in a row, which is crazy to think about. Um, and
Mhm.
obviously a guy that we know really well, but leading the charge is Reddy. Al Reddy's he hit 200 wins. He got his 200th win on Friday during the Super Regional tournament, which I mean, congratulations to Al for that. That's fantastic. I'm really proud of him and the work he's done with this program. He's done so much to get this program where it was. And I think about when we were playing and going to the World Series, and that's what we were talking about and all that stuff. He's turning it into a yearly thing here. So I just want to give thanks and a shout out to Reddy for the work that he's done for the program.
I mean, you look back, what he's been there 7 years, right? So 7 years, averaging about 30 wins a season. Remke, what's the most wins he's had in a season?
Yeah, his high is 41 wins, which they got last year en route to that run to the World Series. So yeah, with him taking over from Vaught at the end of 2018 and this run he's been on these 7 years, and not even what really is what I think more challenging now is he's not getting guys for 4 years or 5 years. He's having to
Right.
play the portal game. And I think his quick adjustment to that, build a roster, reload it, and get these guys bought in and then competing at the level he has been awesome. And you think about this year, okay, 34 and 24 overall. They came out strong and then had that run, where they didn't have things go their way. We heard all the stories about what was going on with Gabe and how that would affect the team. But he righted the ship and turned around, got on a nice streak there to really work their way up the conference. Get into the regional, which they were getting dogged for even getting in the regional, and then they get
Right.
there and they just run their way through. Um, this could not have been an easy year for the players, for the coaches, but I think for the amount of success they had, the wins and losses don't sum up what this group went through.
All right. So no, that's something you look at, right? Like the culture that he's building within the UND program, right? He's been there
Mhm.
7 years, averaging 30 wins, you know, back to back, 2 years in a row, the World Series, one game away from getting back to, they make it 3 years in a row. I mean, the culture that is being built, like you said, Remke, some of the things that have happened, some teams might fold after that long stretch of losses and things that have gone on, right? But it kind of shows the tenacity of the team and what Reddy is building towards. And I think that says a
Yeah.
lot about this team as a whole. Um, so props to everybody, all the players on that team for not giving up early on in the season and fighting back to where they were to make that regional and get into the super regionals ultimately.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you see what
Yep.
happened to Yeshiva. Yeshiva got in a hole, and they just kept digging that hole, right? They got to 100 losses. They
Yeah.
didn't turn it around. I mean,
Yeah. They got deep into those tourist studies and just couldn't get things right on the field.
busy spinning their curls. Um, so I do want to talk about one thing real quick. One of the great things about being out at the games this weekend was I got to see a lot of former players, and which I thought was great, coming out to support the team, and talk to a couple guys we played with, Watkins and Wigington and Martin Tony, and they've been watching the show. So they've just kind of found out about it, but they've been watching it, and they were very much interested. I believe all three of them were asking about when it was going to be their time to come on. And I just really, and Reddy even jumped in on this conversation. He's like, "Yeah, when am I?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're the coach." I'm not sure, but these other three clowns played way too much to be on our show.
Hmm.
Like they
Yeah.
they had their day in the sun during back in college. I don't know how you
Yeah.
guys
We,
feel about it, but that's kind of, I mean, I'm just saying.
we,
No, the funny thing about it here is we were playing the long game back in the day, right? We knew what was going to come. We knew this show was going to exist at some point in time. We played the long game. They played the short game. 4 years of fame in college. Good for
yeah.
you three.
You know what? We'd have to
You're
have
never making the show.
we'd have to have a spin-off show, and we just call it the lineup checkers because they're always checking the lineup because they knew they were playing. Us,
Oh
we didn't
yeah,
check. We're like, we'll be over here.
right.
Well, and the other thing, hey, they bit. Hey, what? Oh man, I'm hitting fifth this game instead of third. Boo
Right.
freaking who?
Like
All
guys
right.
getting upset about it. I couldn't
Right.
I
Yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
believe
I my uniform's dirty. I gotta wash it tonight. Like, give me a
it.
break.
Hey, the only eye on that team was the eye on the hat. All right. But these guys made it about themselves.
I'm telling you
Selfish.
what. They and then they still had the nerve. 20 years later, they still had the nerve to come up to me and be like, "Hey, can we get a spot on we have our
Yeah.
spots." No, you don't fit in
Hey,
here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
You're
we
not riding our coattails on this. It's no gravy train for you guys. Not happening.
Hey, do you remember, and this would have been my freshman year. This is how I knew I was an important part of the team because the umps were coming over to check equipment. I was told to turn around and everybody stuck their dip cans in my belt line because if I got thrown out, it was okay.
I remember that.
So, so, so hey, so I do remember that. Yes, yes. And
I was like, oh,
while,
I
while we're
really
on
made
that,
it.
yeah, while we're on that topic, so what I did play some guys. I didn't just ride the bench, but I did get in some. I started a game, and it was the first thing I go out there, and I take a throw down from the catcher, and the umpire, field ump, comes up. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "What you got in your mouth there?" I go, "A lipper," and he goes, "That's a suspension, right?" I go, "Yes, sir. I'm aware." He goes, "So next inning when you come out here, I want that can." He goes, "I need one." So I was like, "Woo!" Right? So, so I get to start. I'm starting the game. I think I'm going to be thrown out from suspended because I have a dip in my mouth.
Yeah.
And this guy, all he wanted was a dip. All he wanted. Right? Back in the day, it was that skull mint, that I have.
Oh
So
man.
that
That
little story there. I thought.
That
You know,
that same thing
my butthole puckered up so much you couldn't get a grease BB up it.
that same thing happened to me my freshman year, and the only reason I played the field is because they had to pinch run for Babcock. I had no idea I had a can in my back pocket. I go out to first base and I'm standing back there, and the umpire comes up right over my shoulder. He goes, "You got a can in your pocket?" And so I reached back there. I was like, "Yes." He goes, "Put it in your glove and turn around." So I open my glove up with the can. He reaches in and grabs one, puts it back. He goes, "Thank you." That was the end of the discussion. I was like,
Yes.
but I was
Uh,
never worried about getting on the field. So what? I didn't even think about
But
it.
no.
so my other question for you, Remke, here: how many did you have stuck in your belt loop in your waistband? Did you still have about 10 in your waistband too at the same time? With the one in
No,
your
because
mouth?
everybody came and got him as soon as the umpires left. Like it was just during the check where they're like, if we lose him, we're good.
We're good.
And I go, but I'm a gold glove bullpen catcher. You're willing to lose me?
You know,
Uh,
yeah, those types of things. And you know who I feel like definitely would have. I don't know if he was there that year. It had Hummel would have had to. Would Hummel put a just a pouch of Red Man in your back pocket?
Uh, he was a little everything, Hummel. So my
Yeah.
roommate, great guy. I mean, what he ended up getting drafted by the White Sox,
Hmm.
23rd round. Guy
Yep.
was guy was a monster on the mound. Right,
yeah.
wasn't big, but he could wing it. He could wing it. And boy, do I have some stories about that guy living with him for a year.
Did he?
The old,
Did
what was
he?
it? The Lake County. What were they? Where'd they all come from? Was it Lake County
Lake
Junior
County is
College?
where him and Abs came from.
Yeah, I think that's where, isn't that where Boomer came from and Paddock and those guys? Weren't they all Lake County guys?
Might have been. Actually, that sounds right. Um, but so am I correct in remembering that Hummel caught a goose at some point?
So, story about Hummel. Guy was a hunter. Guy's still a hunter. So one night I come back from the bar, it's probably 3 o'clock in the morning. I left the bar a little early. I wanted to get home, want to get some sleep. I come in. We have one of those, those huge trash cans you put out the curb for your trash.
Yeah.
That's what we had in our kitchen, right? So I come in, I take the lid off. There's a fucking goose filleted open, just looking at me, dead, just dead. So I'm like, what the fuck? Right? So I then go over to the foreman. Well, he took the breast out of the goose, right? That's the only thing you need is the breast. And he had them cooking on the George Foreman grill. So I asked him about it. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I came back from the bar. I was kind of hungry. Most people, normal people, stop at Taco Bell. This
Right.
guy goes out, and these geese where we lived, they were friendly geese, right? People feed them from their hands. So he said, I went out there with some bread in my hand, and it comes up to me. He goes, I grab it by the neck, and I swing it around my head to break its neck. And that's how I got my food for the night. So that didn't happen just one time. That happened on multiple occasions. Fucking that goose was some little kid's pet back in the apartment complex.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
He swung it around his head. I forgot about that. I just remember showing up. I remember coming over to your apartment at one point and there was feathers in the kitchen. And I started asking and
Oh,
that story came up. I don't think I was there when it actually was being dissected, but I remember the evidence.
well, not only was there a goose dead in my trash can, there was also a loose python in our apartment
Mhm.
that got
Oh,
tangled up in the couch springs,
that's
right?
right. Who's
four
that?
foot long. That was Hummel's snake. He had a 4 foot long python in our apartment that got out one night. and it got tangled up in the couch cushion coil or the couch coils, and we couldn't find it for probably 3, 4, 5 days. I don't know. So we have people over sitting on the couch, and what's under them? They have no idea. Fucking python.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that was that was a sane apartment. I'm sure
So, oh gee, who?
that was
Oh
one of
wait,
those like, you guys
who
want to
lived
come
there? That
over? Why
was
don't you
you.
come over to our place?
Nobody came over. Nobody ever came over.
So it
We
was
were
you and
stuck.
Hummel and who else?
That was Brett McCullum. Bam Bam.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
He also had a snake.
Yeah, I remember he had a big yellow python or boa or whatever it was.
So Brett McCullum leaves for Christmas break, goes back to Chicago area. He's like, "Hey man, can you take care of my snake while I'm gone?" Yeah, sure, not a problem. Had to feed it mice every couple days. Well, one night, again, I come back from the bar and I go to feed a snake. Well, I didn't close the fucking top. I didn't lock it.
Jesus.
And next morning I wake up, it's gone. So I'm looking for it. I go out to the bar the next night. I come home. I pass out on the floor in his bedroom looking for the snake. Right? I could be dead right now. This thing could have asphyxiated me around my neck. I lived in a damn amphibious house. So again, I hate
Oh,
snakes, man. I hate them.
oh,
You had snakes with Hummel and Boomer, and I had Jo.
oh,
Should do
Bobby. Oh, Bobby
Bobby
My
Boucher.
Boucher.
my favorite one. So we're sitting around the house one night. He comes in and he's just going like this, right in front of us. Like you can see him playing today. And I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing? He goes, you can't see me. I'm doing my sneaky walk.
The sneaky walk, yes.
He loved
And
the sneaky
he'd
walk.
he'd come by and like take food off your plate or take a drink from you. He's like, huh, dude, you can't see me. Sneaky walk.
Oh man.
Uh,
Yeah,
hey, and
Oh,
since we're talking about old Jo, hey, props to that guy. He's a high school coach in Texas right now, and
yep.
I think they might be going to the state finals. So
oh,
good for
really?
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
Oh man, he's a
he's
great
been
dude.
coaching for a
You
long
just,
time.
yeah,
Yeah, great teammate, good dude.
yeah. He was a lot of fun. The only guy I ever knew to get a parking ticket because he had a yellow sticker, student sticker on his truck, and he thought he could park along the yellow curb.
Hey, hey, speaking of parking tickets and stickers, Rep, you mind telling the story about the time I put the big old magnet on the side of your car on Lawrence Avenue?
Was it the first student? Is that
The
what?
short bus sticker about, you know,
Slapped it on the side of my Chevy Lumina.
on the passenger side, mind you, so he couldn't see it.
Oh, the
And he couldn't see it
Luminator.
in the side view mirror either.
Yeah, no.
I think you drove around while you drove to class with it.
Oh, I mean that thing was a chick magnet already, and then you put the short bus sticker on there.
I can't believe you didn't keep that huge ass magnet, man.
I
Well,
think
Bates drove around with an arm hanging out of his trunk for how long?
yeah, that was it was like a Halloween gift. Like you slam it in the car door, it looks like the arm's hanging out, but I would have it in like August. Um,
Well, and
but
Well, the funny thing
Coker's
is, he graduated from the arm hanging out of the trunk to those fucking balls hanging on the back of his car now. He has those.
I definitely do not have that shit on my truck.
Come on, man. I see them.
Well, they're
Do you remember
small.
Coker
They're
driving that
small.
Ford Probe and it sounded like he had a fish tank in his door because the rain would just collect
There
in the door?
was, oh my God, the car would lean to the side of the water. Um,
Yeah,
oh, the old
he
Ford
had a
Probe.
slack tank.
The only the one of the few starts I got, my I don't know, my second junior year. Um, at first base, Jo was playing third, and we were playing at Umsel, and ground ball hit to him. I go and cover the bag. He throws the ball up the first baseline, and so obviously, me being the tree that I am at 5'8", I had jump up in the air, and when I jump up in the air, the runner runs right into my chest, and I slam my head down on his helmet, and it knocks me out, and I woke up in the first base coach's box. Okay. And all I remember waking up to is Vaught coming out yelling, "He held on to the ball. He held on to the ball. That fucking runner's out."
Yeah.
And I just kind of woke up and I was like, "No, I'm good, coach. I'm good." But anyway, I can still in my mind see when I jumped up in the air, Jo's face going like that. He knew I was going to get trucked, and I had a concussion. I had to go sit on the freaking bus for 2 games. But I can
That was
still,
concussion protocol back then.
yeah, I can still remember the look on his face when he let that ball go. That was so funny.
Any normal
Um,
sized first baseman, it'll hit him right in the chest.
That's what Nugent, when Nugent was working with me on that, trying to make the move over there to first, he kept saying, he's like, "We've got to work," because I would go work with him after practice or a lot in the fall, like on picks and things like that. And he was like, "You're absolutely the shortest first baseman in Division II baseball, so you've got to figure this out." So, all right, so. We're gonna kind of wrap up this season here. Obviously the Hounds are finished. They are no longer playing this year. It's been so much fun to hang out with you guys and get to catch up. And hopefully those former players and things that are getting to see this have enjoyed it. But for me, this has been all about providing support for the team and just letting them know that we got their back. It's selfishly, it's fun for me because I get to talk baseball and hang out with you guys. And then, but hopefully they enjoy it from talking with the guys that out at the ballpark and things, they seem to. So, we're, possibly looking at doing some things in the off season with some other guys that haven't played much in the past. And, if you did play and you were a starter, don't text me. It's not going to happen. Um, but
You got to wait for the spinoff.
I'll let Rimke and Kurt kind of close out with their thoughts or any kind of closings that we have here for this 2025 Greyhound season.
Yeah, I echo what you said, Brad. It's been a lot of fun. Selfishly, it's been a lot of fun, I think, on our end. Um, Give kudos to you though, because this was Brad's brainchild. He came up with this idea. The first one that we did not make the airwaves because it was so bad. Um, Mainly because we couldn't connect two thoughts at
Yeah,
the time. So we
right.
decided maybe we'd sober up and try again. Um, but no, it's a lot of fun. And in past years, we've followed the team and we talk, but never like this. To the point where I think once we dug into the team a little more, and if anybody's been around Brad for 5 minutes, knows he's the king of nicknames. So rolling the nicknames out to the guys, screwing up, pick to click in the very beginning, so it becomes clicks to pick. I mean, just a stroke of genius. But that
Happy
that all
accident.
became a lot of fun, and right. And then, that got us talking with Reddy more, hearing from him, giving him telling us what's going on with the team. But really for me, I don't think I've been more invested in UND baseball than I was this year, in quite some time. It was a lot of fun, and Brad and I did some World Series videos the last couple of years, but this was a lot of fun. Proud of this group. A lot of pride with what Al's been able to do. It's pretty cool seeing one of your own come back,
Hmm.
take the program the way he has. So all the guys on the team really happy for you, proud of you guys. You make us all proud, and wish you all the best.
Enjoyed a lot. I was obviously an afterthought with this whole thing. Definitely a bench player when it came to this too. But hey, I got the start after a while, so made the most. So really enjoyed it. So really good time. And again, like you said, Brian, definitely followed the team a lot more this year than years past. Definitely made it to quite a few games this year. A lot of fun watching them. And really looking forward to it next year, too. The one thing I'm really excited about is new nicknames next year, right? New nicknames.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, if I'm Al, I'm definitely showing this to recruits, all these videos, and saying, hey, this is just an added bonus that you get coming to be a Greyhound. Is that? But
Yeah.
and then, hey, great job, guys. Fun watching this year. Looking forward to seeing another run next year and getting back to the series. So, great job. Really proud of you guys as well.
And a little shout out to our man Scotty Bird. He didn't
Keeping
get
us
all the credit
clean.
he does as a producer of the show. The guy was on point. We hope he has a good off season, riding trains, whatever he's doing. But yeah, we owe a lot to our man behind the scenes too.
Yeah, he's really pulled us together.
Good call. Good call out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in closing, man, to this year's team, and even guys, I know I saw Caleb Vaughn, and I think it was Sill that he was with out at the ball game from last year's team. They've got their own podcast going. I believe it's called Behind the Dugout. So shout out to them. If you see this, you may check it out too. But again, really proud of the team. Guys that are graduating and coming out and no longer going to be playing. You know, you've got connections here. Talk to Reddy. We're willing to help out wherever we can. We're a little bit further on down the road in our profession, so if we can help you out in any way, please let us know. And yeah, we're looking forward to next season. And stay tuned for more information coming from Pine Stars. We will catch you next time. Have a good one, guys. See ya.
Yes.
Earl.